Hi, welcome to our open house. My name is Kason Watson, and I am an admissions recruiter advisor here at the USF St. Petersburg campus. Today, I'm going to give you a quick overview of USF. I'm going to go over the application process, our available scholarships, and what you can do if you are interested in becoming a USF Bull. So USF was founded in 1956. We have an overall enrollment of just over 50,000 students with an undergraduate population of just over 37,000 students with a student to faculty ratio of 21 to 1. Average class size is about 33 students. And as far as our diversity goes, we have 41% of our USF students come from diverse backgrounds. We have students from all 50 states, and we have about 141 countries represented. USF has 200 plus majors and concentrations, and we are a Research One institution. So if you're interested in any of those programs that have heavy research, we're a good place to be as far as that goes. So I'm going to go over the steps to apply. So USF has a merit-based evaluation system. It's a fairly simple application process. We only have about 4 steps, and we have the application, obviously. We use the Common App, the Coalition app, or the application, USF application that's founded on our website. If you go to usf.edu, go to the Apply Now button, you can fill out the application there, or you can use the Common or Coalition app. With the application, we have the application fee, and then you would need to submit your high school transcripts, official high school transcripts, meaning that we'd have to get the transcript either directly from a school official, directly from the school itself, or you would need to submit a transcript in a sealed original envelope. So those are the options you have to submit the transcripts for us to consider them official. I know some students have a PDF copy, but you would not be able to send those and be considered official. From the student's email, we need to get them directly from the institution. We also require the SAT or ACT. We don't have a preference between one or the other, but we do require a standardized test, and that's it. We don't have letters of recommendation, essays, or academic resumes. We have a fairly straightforward application process. So as far as some of the important deadlines, our application opens July 1st. You have quite a bit of time to actually submit the application, but I always encourage students to apply as early as possible. December 1st is our priority application deadline. It's always better to submit the application, and then you can always submit updated test scores and transcripts at a later point. But I would encourage you to apply as early as possible. The closer and closer it gets to the start of the application or the start of the term for us, fall or summer, the more competitive it gets for students trying to apply to USF. The January 1st FAFSA priority deadline is also kind of important. I encourage students that even if you're not sure if you're going to be offered federal financial aid, which is FAFSA, which FAFSA is for. There are some scholarships that do require FAFSA information to be on file. So I encourage all students to fill out the FAFSA, whether or not you feel like you're going to be eligible for financial or federal financial aid. Our financial aid award spring scholarship deadline is February 1st, and then our January 15th is our Florida resident application completion deadline for our merit-based scholarship. So if you are interested in one of our merit-based scholarships, you need to have a complete application into us by January 15th. And then May 1st is our admissions deposit deadline, is kind of our final deadline to decide whether or not you are interested in attending USF. So how do we evaluate your file? There's a couple different things that we look at. Students ask whether or not we're doing a weighted GPA or a traditional GPA. We do a recalculated GPA. What that means is we're looking at your core academic courses: English, math, social science, natural science, and 2 years of a foreign language. And then we have additional weight that we add based on certain types of scores, for example, or certain types of courses. Honors courses are an extra half point. AP, IB, dual enrollment, and ACE Cambridge are an extra full point of weight. So we do weight the GPA based on those criteria. So keep that in mind as well. And as far as test scores, SAT or ACT, we do super score. So we encourage students to send us all of your scores. So we're going to give you the highest score in each section. So when you test or if you retest, submit all of your scores, because that will be a benefit, only be a benefit to the student. So students also ask whether or not what's our minimum. We don't really have a minimum GPA or SAT or ACT per se. We look at what's called the averages, and about 1/4 of our students are admitted above the averages, and 1/4 of our students are admitted below. So for the fall 2021 admitted freshman profile, the average GPA was between a 3.97 and a 4.48. The average SAT was between a 1230 and a 1370, and the average ACT was between a 26 and a 31. And once again, we admit about 1/4 of our students above that point and 1/4 of our students below. For the summer, the average GPA was 3.57 and a 4.1. And the average SAT was between a 1090 and 1170, and the average ACT was between a 22 and a 25. So when a student applies to USF, fall is our most competitive term. So if a student is applying for the fall, we're going to review the student for the fall. But if they're not meeting the fall requirements, we will automatically review them for the summer. If they're not meeting the summer requirements, we'll review them for the spring. So we're going to review students for every term they'd be admissible for. So I encourage students to apply for the term that you are interested in attending. We're going to review for every term they'd be admissible for. So keep that in mind. You don't have to submit a separate application for the summer or the fall. Just submit the application for the term that you are interested in attending, and we're going to review for every term that you'd be possibly admissible for. So our merit-based scholarships are not scholarships you'd have to necessarily apply for. If you submit a completed application before January 15th, we're automatically going to review for these scholarships, and you're automatically going to be offered one of our merit-based scholarships if you are meeting the criteria and all of your documents are submitted for January 15th. So keep that in mind. We have the same criteria for our out-of-state students, but as you will notice, the out-of-state amounts are a little higher, mainly because the out-of-state rate is going to be different for out-of-state students. For our Judy Genshaft Honors College, our Honors College is now based on an application process. So anyone that's interested in our Honors College is encouraged to apply to the Honors College. We no longer auto admit, except in the case of our merit scholarship. So if you are interested in the Judy Genshaft Honors College, I would encourage you to apply. There are additional scholarships that go along with the Honors College, as well as access to our 7-year accelerated BS to MD program, as well as our Bachelor's to PharmD program, and our 3+3 accelerated Bachelor's to JD program, which we have in partnership with Stetson. So those programs are only accessible to our honors students. So if you're interested, I would encourage you to apply to the Honors College. And once again, they are only based on a application process, or they're separate from our admissions application process. So for the cost of attendance, USF has, I think, the second or third lowest tuition in the state of Florida. So keep that in mind. As far as tuition rates, we are fairly affordable. You're looking at about $6,400 for just tuition and fees, and then we have the out-of-state rate on. So the out-of-state is going to be a little bit different from our in-state, and then we have 85% of the students that are full-time students that are attending USF St. Pete receive some sort of financial aid. So if you have any questions about the admissions process, or you're interested in coming for a campus tour, I would encourage you to reach out to the admissions office. You can always reach out to us by phone or email. If you are sending an email to the admissions office, admissions@usf.edu, it will be routed to your admissions counselor. More than likely, if you're in the South Pinellas County area, you'd be routed over to me, and if you're in different areas of the state, we'll be going over, or out of state, it would be routed to your admissions counselor. But if you are interested in USF at all, I would encourage you to reach out to our admissions office and ask us questions. That's what we're there for. If you have any questions, once again, reach out to us. And once again, thank you for your time, and go Bulls.